Okay, we're going to do a different approach to this video. I'm actually going to record me talking while I'm actually doing it in front of you. So I think that might be a little bit more helpful, maybe. I always have all my references on my Pinterest board of everything I've ever drawn is in this one Pinterest folder called Stuff I've Drawn LOL. I wonder how many things are in here. 520 pins, wow. Let's start with this one here. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but like I always find it a lot easier to start drawing in a color. Like this just doesn't feel as nice. Sometimes it's nicer to work with something that's a little bit lighter like this, just because if I make a sketch and I'm like, oh, I like that, then sometimes I can go in with a darker color and I can define that a little bit more than when you just use black and then you can't really go over that any more times. I always start off with a circle and then, you know, because if I'm being honest, I always just kind of wing this part. This kind of side of the face is always this kind of shape. This is where the eye is. There's like a little divot where the chin goes, and that's about it. And because I've been drawing faces for so long, it's kind of just muscle memory to me, honestly. So if you just keep practicing and you figure out your proportions, and it doesn't work out every time. I mean, not every single person looks like this. Totally depends on who it is. I feel like this is gonna properly expose myself because I really do just wing it. Like, I'm just like, yeah, it looks like it's about there. That looks like it's about there. I always add these two sort of darker areas where the lips are, because you can kind of see them here. Always add those darkest values. There's a dark value here too. Now this portrait is actually for one of my art challenge videos, so I usually am not too bothered about making it look exactly like what reference I'm kind of basing it off of. Guys, you have to let me know, do I suffer from same face syndrome? Because sometimes I feel like I do. Anyway, once I've kind of mapped out these features, that's when I go in and I erase that circle that I use. And sometimes I'll get rid of this line too. You might notice in some of my drawings, I still have that line going down the middle just because it's kind of tricky to erase sometimes. Eyebrows. For some reason, I'm always really good at drawing the right eyebrow, but never the left eyebrow, because I can't do this motion as nicely as I can with this one. Do you see that? Honestly, this really isn't me trying to recreate this photo. I'm just kind of like using it as inspiration. I like to use my Pinterest boards and stuff for inspiration on poses, on hairstyles, not really to make that exact person, because obviously I'm not going to color her the same colors as this. She's probably going to have like neon yellow hair or something. Still trying to figure out how to do this whole long form video stuff, guys, if I'm being totally honest. I love making the short videos, but I really enjoy like making more educational tutorial videos. You guys just let me know what you want to know and I will try and provide. I just thought this could be one of my most like kind of honest videos of like, this is really how everything is going down. Just me sat here drawing a bunch of little peoples. Now that I've kind of got my sketch in, I will go in with my liquefy tool, which is not cheating. Liquefying is not cheating. It just helps you to like adjust things a little bit, and yeah. So I'll kind of push the eyes around a bit. I'll use like a small size to kind of push around the eyes a little bit, and then I'll go on like a way bigger scale to kind of do those slight kind of pushing things. And what I've noticed is sometimes I just push things around and then it suddenly looks like the person. I'm like, oh, there we go, that's where I need to be. But now that I've got this kind of, I don't want to call it a loose sketch because you've just seen how long I spent on it, but now that I've got this, I can go in and I can go in with a deeper sort of red, like I was saying earlier, and then I can go in and refine things. This is my stage where I kind of go in and I'm like, right, how do I make this look a little bit more like this person? It's kind of like proofreading the lines that I just did. So now that I'm proofreading all of this now, I'm realizing that this area where I've put the lips is just way too high compared to here. So now I can go back into my liquefy, now that I've spotted that issue, and I can just fix that up. I think that's a good way of putting it actually. This dark red layer really is kind of like a proofreading layer, where it's just like, is everything that I'm drawing making sense? Because I get to like kind of look over all of it again. This is genuinely one of the best parts of the whole process. I love doing the sketches of the characters. I've always loved drawing people, like all the way through school. Like the back of my sketchbooks were just full of just teeny tiny little faces, and I used to get in trouble for it all the time. I know it's probably not the best advice to give. I feel like sketching all the time like that really helped me improve the way I draw faces, and how I figured out how to spot all those little things like the side of the face and how to do that accurately is from just doing it 100 million times. If you're wanting to improve, the best advice I can give really is do everything I'm doing in this video. No, I'm joking. To just keep on drawing and keep on sketching. Doesn't matter if it looks great, doesn't matter if it looks like this. At least you tried, and at least you somewhat observe your references while you're doing that, because that is how you improve gradually, and that's how your brain learns to do things like this. Just sort of going in with those slight extra details. I do like to add a lot of details when I'm actually doing the final painting. Like I'll do the kind of hair details at the end, but at this stage, because you guys are watching, I will add a couple more little sort of line streaks. They do help to sort of show like the direction of where the hair is going. Like in this empty space here, it does help if I show which direction I want it to flow in. I'm gonna do that final kind of pushing around of things. I tend to make noses kind of big too, just because they're so fun to draw. Let's move on to the next step, which is adding a little bit of shadows. I tend to go in with a very light kind of color, and we're going to go on to a layer just below. We're going to change these both to multiply. Just map out all of the dark areas. Basically, if you squint at this picture, where are all the dark areas? There tends to be a lot of shadow around the eyes, shadow underneath the nose, underneath the mouth, a lot of shadow here where her jaw is. I'm gonna try and highlight all of those on our drawing before we go any further. Shadows that are around the eyes. And I'm just gonna go in with this one singular block color and block those in. Now that I've added all of these kind of scribbly shadows in, I'm going to go in with my push blend smudge tool. I'm going to blend out these colors, and I'm going to have my softness, my opacity down a little bit so I can blend them out like this. Just gotta trust the process, right? I think that's my initial shadow mapping done on the face. Now let's do the hair. Surprise, surprise, it's the exact same process. I tend to kind of stylize my hair with these sort of roundish highlights. Like if this was a highlight here, the sun was shining here, I would leave it like this. Have a nice round patch. So this is where we're at. This is the perfect base for when I add the random colors from my color wheel challenges. You just put this on multiply 2. The way I add my actual colors is, well, usually I don't have this layer turned on actually, and I will go in and add the colors. Let's say her hair is brown. And then with the shadow layer that's on multiply, when I put that over, it sort of adds all the shadows in automatically. It works as a perfect base to just do whatever you want on and add some more dimension. As for highlights, I tend to also do those at the end. Once I've blocked in all the colors, I add those on top at the end, which I can show in another video if you guys are interested. So yeah, this is how I honestly draw my characters and how I sketch people. If you try any of the tips that I gave in this video, let me know down below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you like this sort of real-time talking while drawing sort of video. Make sure you subscribe. I upload challenge videos every day. Thank you for being here, guys. See you.